what you have to realize, obviously, is you can't separate physiology from psychology. So they're obviously interrelated. So they present really with low mood and tiredness. So it's exactly the same symptoms as males. They're psychological symptoms, but they have a physiological base. So yeah, it's you'll hear the cliched night sweats and things like that, and it's like, yeah, they can be an issue, but it boils down to the psychology. But it's because the physiology's off that the psychology's off. And again, counselling them, it's the same with the men. It's earn your reward. There are subtle nuances with regards kind of the male versus female kind of hormone profiles. Again, we follow that diurnal pattern, day night, day night, day night. Women have that monthly cycle, and that affects their mood in a different way to us. We're simple creatures with simple needs. Same thing, Groundhog Day. Whereas women have that sort of monthly cycle for a reason. The first part of their cycle is high libido, high energy, getting a mate, to hopefully procreate, to then settle down, and the progesterone starts to come up, and they have a more calming effect, and the sleep improves. So then, obviously, all hell breaks loose, and then back to that cycle again. So there's a reason why we're hunter gatherers and women are nurturers, because we have different roles in society.
Do you think we've lost touch with that? Because one of the things that I see now is, and for a lot of benefit, obviously like women in the workplace, women fighting for the same roles, and kind of gender equality generally being a good thing for outcomes in society. But do you think that in some aspects, because we're trying to pretend that these differences don't exist, like almost there is negative consequences that are happening, such as you mentioned the fact that men have that day in day out cycle of testosterone and whatnot, whereas women have the monthly cycle, and obviously how that cashes out for training. So if they're doing gym work or running, or they're trying to do some athletic endeavor, or also with work with the 9 till 5 and the day in day out patterns, like do you think that like women are becoming less in touch with their biology and their systems because we're caught up in this sort of male dominated rat race when it comes to the corporate and the physical world? Do you think there's a bit of a problem there with how women are then being affected?
110%. Yeah. So, you've got council estates thonking out kids all day, every day, and they're smoking and drinking. Uh, and you've got these well-to-do couples where the wife or partner has been career-driven to then afford a child, but they can't conceive because for some reason she or he are infertile, or just decreased fertility. And fundamentally, most of the problems come from stress. And again, I think we need to realize that we're physical beings in a world full of psychological stress, and we release the same neurotransmitters and hormones with psychological stresses as we do with physical, but we're physical. So you want natural monthly cycles and the ability to conceive, when you're holding down two jobs and stressed about deadlines. Again, if we go back to sort of the stress state is not a conducive state for fertility and wellness. So the stress state is a stress state. So that's when you're predominantly sympathetic, so fight or flight. So whilst we have a more kind of exaggerated fight flight response and parasympathetic system because it's the day night testosterone, that still translates into females. So if somebody's stressed, then they don't have the ability to transition into the parasympathetic state when your ability to conceive will be increased. So again, it again stems from a fundamental lack of understanding of normal physiology, and yeah, this over exuberance to be like a man. It's like our sex differences are very important. It doesn't mean a woman can't do what she wants to do and be who she wants to be, but we need to understand physiology, and you need to understand the consequences of your actions before you go down that road. Because again, we all pay the consequences for our actions, or indiscretions. Do you think that's the reason why I'm here? It didn't help. And no other animal would deliberately suppress consciousness or negatively impact its health. and we do it with a flippancy and disregard that is utterly disgusting. But again, we're seeking reward, not realizing that we should be earning the reward, not taking the reward, and then again following that path of least resistance. So it translates into both males and females. We just don't know. We've gone so far away from our true core, our true being. Um, it's horrendous, and they're all sat in front of me now.